For this week's video presentation, I chose option 1, that Kate's 16-year-old daughter, Elizabeth, is pregnant. I would approach this, the first thing I would do is explain to Kate that I understand how this could be a difficult situation for herself, her husband, and Elizabeth, their daughter. There's several aspects to consider, such as Elizabeth finishing high school and her future goals, financial requirements, what it takes to be a mother, and how it will change their family dynamic as a whole. This is a situation that requires serious conversations between everyone in the household, but it first starts with Philip, her husband. Kate and Philip need to be on the same page about the situation before addressing it with Elizabeth. It's important to note that no matter how this contraception happened or who it was with, there was no mistakes made in the eyes of God. Jeremiah 1:5 reads, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I anointed you as a prophet of nations." Although this comes as a shock to everyone, it was not a surprise to God, who will equip Elizabeth to be a great mother and lead both Kate and Philip in raising this baby. In Proverbs 6:26, it lists 6 things that are detestable to the Lord, one being hands that shed innocent blood. Elizabeth knew there was a possibility of pregnancy while in the act. It's not right to punish an innocent life because of an in-the-moment mistake per se. Next, a conversation has to be made with Elizabeth. This cannot happen until Kate and Philip are on the same page, because they need to go to her with the same thought process. So a conversation has to be made with Elizabeth. When confronting this topic, it's key that both Kate and Philip communicate with compassion. An article by Focus on Family, a website designed to guide those who find themselves in a major conflict, explains how Christians should display radical compassion to those who find themselves in a frightening pregnancy situation. It's not by shock that Elizabeth is probably scared herself. So we need to address this in a compassionate and understanding way, even though Kate and Philip may very well be upset about the situation themselves. We should encourage them that their life and dreams don't have to end because a baby is being brought into this life, but rather talk with Elizabeth about future plans and how she will financially and emotionally support a baby. Will she get a job and be able to balance that with school? Will college still be an option? Is that something that she will still look forward to doing? Does she think she can be a mother with the help of God? It all boils down to having communication from the start. Everybody needs to be on the same page. I'd also mention that if they are worried about what people will think, they have to let that go. People will always have an opinion, but that's irrelevant to the conflict at hand. Elizabeth's pregnancy affects a small number of people, and their family being the main one. It's important that both Kate and Elizabeth are encouraging to Elizabeth and help in any way possible. Although it will ultimately be up to Kate whether she chooses an abortion or not, they should try their best to offer support and reassure her that her life can still continue with the baby. Adding a baby into any family is a huge adjustment, but also one of the biggest blessings in this life. I'd end the conversation on a positive note. Jeremiah 29:11 reads this, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." Lastly, I would tell Kate that she should be praying for peace and guidance that only comes from God. If we're in constant prayer with the Lord about difficult situations in our lives, this one being a huge one, He will guide us and direct us in the right direction. He will help us give a clear head and really be able to think about the conversation at hand. So I really think that first, Philip and Kate need to be on the same page before they address Elizabeth with this issue. And although it still will be Elizabeth's decision, I think that they should steer clear of the abortion and termination of the pregnancy issue, and that they should look forward and look at the bigger picture and how this baby can really bring a huge blessing in their lives, and how this could be a fresh breath of fresh air. And if Elizabeth's not on the right path now, having this baby may help her get a more clear mind and understand that for the future she needs to get her life in order. So I really think that this pregnancy, it is a blessing from God. Every child is a blessing from God, and there are no mistakes in His eyes. And with the help with Kate and Philip, It's not impossible. It may change their family dynamic drastically and forever, but that's just the way it will be. It's nothing that they can't adjust to and help Elizabeth in the future with this baby. Thank you.